All right, guys, are you enjoying this dip? You know, I made a video on, I don't know, Saturday talking about the Bitcoin crash. Got a lot of heat for it. Some people in my comments, I knew we were dumping this slow, guys. It's inevitable. It's the pre-happening dump. We had pumped way too much. Meme coins going crazy. Every YouTuber talking about meme coins. Heck, I'm talking about meme coins. I haven't bought some higher cap meme coins because I was bored. Of course, they're all wrecked, but they'll come back. They'll come back. So, guys, without a doubt, we know this throughout history, throughout the history of Bitcoin. When the meme coins pump, everybody's talking about meme coins. We've hit at least a local top. And that's what happened. So Bitcoin right back down to almost $60,000. We're at 63. Interestingly, we essentially dumped $10,000. But remember, 2 weeks ago, we dumped $10,000 as well. We went to 73 or whatever it was. And then right back down to 63. But the only difference is we pumped right back within 24 hours. This time, not so fast. I'm sensing fear in the market. I made a video on Saturday talking about how I feel like the sentiment has changed, and that's what we want. We want people to be scared. We want the market to crash. We want Bitcoin to go under 60,000, and we want the market to reset itself. So why are we dumping right now other than we just went up too fast? Well, this is your typical pre-halvening dump. Here's a short video kind of going over it with Rand, just basically talking about this is what Bitcoin does as you're going into the halvening.
It says, historically, Bitcoin has performed pre-halving retraces 14 to 28 days before the halving. That's where we are today. In 2020, this retrace was 20% deep and began 14 days before the halving. That's kind of like where we are today. The retrace lasted a few days, but proceeded over 150 days reaccumulation period. In 2016, the pre-halving retrace was minus 40% and began 28 days before the halving. So we're firmly in this pre-halving correction territory. But this dip does feel slightly different. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. This is the main thing that you have to understand today. This dip is slightly different. And the reason why this dip is slightly different is because if you think of all the previous dips that we've had 4 dips in this bull run. We've had a negative 23, we've had a negative 21, we've had a negative 22, and we've had a negative 21%. So you can see the dips haven't actually been respectable dips. Because we said a respectable dip, if you want to be a dip, and you want to you want to be a respectable dip in terms of the dips, you need to be like a 30% correction.
Yeah, so essentially what Rand is saying, you know, sometimes Rand makes some points, is that we have to get the dip to a point where people actually get scared out of the market. And the previous dips we have over the last couple months, really not so much. Now, we do need to have a nice dump under 60,000. I think that will scare a lot of people out of the market. And I do think we're probably going to get it. There's no guarantee. We could also go down to 50,000. We talked about Alicio talking about as long as we stay above $50,000, we're still bullish. We got the halvening in 3 weeks. We always get a dip before the halvening. 20, 30, 40% dip. A lot of people right now are talking about a $45,000 Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to get that. And remember, when everybody thinks we're going to get something, when everybody's talking about getting something, we're probably not going to get it. So maybe we'll get like a $58,000 Bitcoin, maybe even a $55,000 Bitcoin. And remember, if we do get a $55,000 Bitcoin, everybody's going to be talking about a $40,000 Bitcoin. Then all of a sudden we get the halvening and Bitcoin's going to absolutely go crazy. The point with this is, guys, everything was overinflated. It was crazy, and we had to have a pullback, and it's healthy. We talked about it on this channel for the last couple weeks, and now we're getting it. Overall, everything's basically getting hammered. Solana down a lot, Cardano down a lot, Theta down. Everything's down 20, 30%, 15%. And it will probably go down a little bit more. Now you got Bitcoin back up to 64,000. I do think we're probably going to go under 60 a little bit. But anyway, there's no guarantee. This is the time you have money on the side. Buy this dip, because once we get past that halvening, we're most likely going to go bullish going into the summer. But I do expect the rest of March to be overall bearish, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get a big dump after the halvening. We pump up, then we dump down again, then we go back up. All par for the course. I'm not worried at all. In fact, I was anticipating it. The question is, how long is going to last? I think we need to be bearish for at least a couple of weeks, to be honest with you, to flush people out and have people lose interest. You know, we've been talking about Michael Saylor over the last couple months, just how him buying all this Bitcoin is probably going to it'd be the end of MicroStrategy. It's going to kill his company. And when we go into a bear market, it's probably going to be it's probably going to lead into the big dump going into the bear market. You're starting to see a lot of articles like that right now. What was Michael Saylor's biggest mistake? We uncover the controversial decision of Michael Saylor, former CEO of MicroStrategy, namely his bold move to invest heavily in Bitcoin and perhaps a fundamental flaw in his strategy being overlooked. Where Saylor goes wrong, the author calls his strategy for acquiring Bitcoin one of his mistakes. They argue that Michael Saylor's frequent buys of Bitcoin at its price peak, a behavior often termed as FOMO buying. I've been saying that forever. You guys remember Michael Saylor first got into Bitcoin. He was buying at all-time highs. The guy was shitting on Bitcoin for the last 10 years. Then all of a sudden he starts buying into it. The guy has no idea what he's doing. And like I said, right now, him buying Bitcoin, yeah, that's great. It's good for the market. But going into that bear market, he's going to be dumping all that Bitcoin because there's no way Michael Saylor's holding going into the bear. You're starting to see the articles right now. And we caught it, 6 months before we were talking about this, and now, now the articles are actually catching up. Also, about 3 or 4 months ago, we came out on this channel and we said the Fed is probably not going to be able to cut interest rates. Inflation's way too high. They can't even control inflation. It might level off a little bit, then it goes back up. If they cut interest rates, the economy is going to completely crash. Inflation is going to basically take off 100%, kill everything. You're already seeing dollar store closing down. McDonald's are closing down. Walmarts are closing down. The economy is barely surviving. It's barely hanging on, and there's no way the Fed can cut. We've been talking about that for the last few months. Now you're starting to see the CNBC articles. Here's an article right here. Fed could cut rates fewer times than expected as economy keeps growing, according to CNBC survey. So now a lot of people aren't even expecting the Fed to cut. I mean, major articles on Bloomberg. Apollo's Torsten Slock says Fed will not cut rates in 2024. I feel like the Fed will, at some point in 2024, be forced to cut rates. And I've always said I hope it doesn't happen until after we make all our money in crypto, because once they cut rates, the inflation's going to take off. You already have people paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford anything. Housing prices are crazy. Everything's about to collapse. Once we get one more surge in inflation, that's going to basically price 80% of the population, the middle class, out of the economy, and that will lead to an overall collapse. So pay attention to that. And of course, what we always talk about, the big dump in Bitcoin is why you need to get out. Think how bullish everybody was in Bitcoin over the last couple weeks, over the last couple months. It's going to go, we're going to 100,000. Solana's pumping, everything's pumping. Now look how bearish everything is, guys. Look how quickly everything changes. And that's exactly what's going to happen end of summer as we come to the end of this bull market. We're going to see history is going to repeat itself again. The meme coins are going to be going crazy, guys. You know it. This summer, end of summer, Dogecoin is going to be 5xing. The bonks, the donks, the dinks, the rinks. All these meme coins are going to go crazy, and everybody's going to be talking about extended cycles. Bitcoin going to $500,000, maybe Bitcoin's going to $1 million, and all of a sudden everything's going to dump, and the chair is going to get pulled out from 99% of everybody in crypto. Bitcoin's going to have some flash crash, 30% in a day. The meme coins are going to drop 80%. And it's not going to come back, and that's going to be the catalyst that takes us into the bull market. And it happens every cycle, which is why I have to keep saying it. You have to realize most people don't make any money in crypto. Almost everybody loses every penny, and that's what's going to happen this time too. Everybody was into these big meme coins over the last couple weeks. Now they're all wrecked. And a lot of these meme coins that were pumping over the last couple weeks won't come back. Your Dogecoins, your Shibas, the big cap ones will, but these little Solana meme coins everybody's playing around with, there's a good chance a lot of them won't come back. So we don't want to make any of those mistakes on this channel, and that's why we want to get out of the markets probably by the end of the summer. We talked about this before. Cardano finally gets a fiat-backed stablecoin, USDM after huge delays. So while we're getting dumps, good news happening on Cardano. You can go on Theta, Twitter, good news happening. Everybody's still building even though we're dumping. There's really not even that much news. I was trying to find like some good news of what's actually causing this dump, and there's nothing. This is basically a 4-year cycle dump. The dump that we always get every cycle going into the halving. That's what we're getting right now. We had an overinflated market. We had meme coins pumping. We had AI pumping. It was time for a pullback. Everybody wants to know how far will we dump? Nobody knows. I think we'll probably at least peak under $60,000, maybe go to like 59.5 or something like that, but it doesn't have to happen. We could go up from here. So I'm not going to pretend I'm some fortune teller, but what I do think is, at least for the next couple of weeks, we're going to have we're going to have some bearishness, and we're going to have people getting bored with the market. I'm probably going to see, my views going down on my videos, even though I don't get that many views anyway. But, it's a good idea to look at like Rand Nooner's views, BitBoy's views, see if they're going down. You want to see people losing interest in the market, and I think that's what we're going to see over the next couple of weeks. We might go right back up to $70,000 for all I know, but I think overall, you're going to see an overall sluggishness until we get up to that halving. And everybody knew we were going to get this dump that had any common sense. It's just like when you're in that euphoria, it's hard to admit. Here's Rand Nooner reads a tweet from Scott Milker from a couple of days ago just talking about, hey, shouldn't we be getting a big dump pretty soon?
So Scott Milker actually worded it quite well. He said, look, I have some concerns. Fundamentally, with the ETF interest and the crypto cycle ramping up, I want to believe that we're going to go higher, much higher. However, most of the top signals I would normally look for when I'm not FOMOing are present. Meme coins are going insane, huge run on alts, historically overbought, a bearish divergence in the RSI, which is what we said yesterday. We said the RSI was going down, the momentum was going down, the price was continuing to go up. He says, I would not be at all surprised to see this market cool off massively for a few months before ramping up again. Now, I don't think it's going to be a few months. I think it's going to be less than a month. But I don't think it's going to...
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the Bitcoin halving, it probably would be for a few months. If the halving wasn't until the end of the September, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a few months of bearishness where everybody gets scared out of the market and we go right back to boring market where nobody's talking about it anymore. But because of the halving, I do think this dump is probably going to be less than a couple weeks, and we're going to slowly make our way up. Other than that, guys, I wish there was much more to talk about, but there's not. There's not news. All you got to do, open up the 4-year cycles. We're basically just following the 4-year cycles. And without a doubt now, some people say, well, sometimes when meme coins are pumping, sometimes when we're in meme coin euphoria, that means that we're going to have a dump soon and we're heading to top. It's not sometimes. It's all the time. When everybody's talking about meme coins, when you have these shitty, scammy blockchains like Solana creating all these meme coins, every minute they're coming out with a new meme coin, and that's all people are talking about. All your YouTubers are doing meme coin shows. That's the top. Once that happens, you probably have another week or two before we go into an all-out dump. It happens every time, and that's why these crypto markets are so freaking easy. In my opinion, these markets are easy. A monkey could do it because all you got to do is follow the 4-year cycles, and all you got to do is find the meme coin top. We're probably going to have a meme coin top 2 more times before we hit the all-time high top and go into the bear market. We're probably going to have another meme coin top going into the summer, probably June. We're probably going to have another one. And we're probably going to have a big dump midsummer where everybody thinks everything's over, bear market starting. Then we're probably going to have another run-up leading into the end of the summer, going into the fall. Meme coins are going to be going crazy again. And in my opinion, that's going to be it. That's going to be your last chance to get out of the markets. So guys, that's what I think is going on. We've been pretty much right. Pretty good on this channel so far. A dump was inevitable. I'm not worried about it. I'm looking to buy some cheap coins if I can get them. But now, hey, look, we're at 64,500 right now. We might be coming right back up to 70. I don't know where the bottom's going to be. I feel like it would be nice and healthy to see Bitcoin go under 60,000 and scare out all the dumb money. But we're so close to the halving now, it really doesn't have to play out like that, right? This might be it. We may have hit the low at 63,000 because if you remember, we went down to 63,000 2 weeks ago and then we came right back up. I don't know. It's a guess, but got money on the side and I'm ready to deploy it. What I do know is we're going to be extremely bullish in the next couple months going into the summer. And I'm almost 100% sure in my mind, this cycle is going to be shorter than the last one. And people who don't get out of this market, end of summer, going into the fall, are going to lose all of their money. I've said it. I keep saying it. It's very important to remember. You take 100 people that are making money in crypto, have a party with 100 of them at the top of the middle of the bull run. Let's have a party for everybody in crypto. Every single one of them's bragging about how much money they make. Call them back in the bear market. Maybe 2 of those 100, maybe 3 made some money, made money. All the other ones lost every single fucking penny. So don't get too cocky in these markets. Realize it's a game of musical chairs. It can end at any moment. It can end right now for all we know. That's why I cashed out on my MicroStrategy stock, because I know it can end at any moment. But if we follow the 4-year cycles, we probably have at least another 6 months to go before the end. And I do expect to see Bitcoin hit 120, maybe at $150,000. I still expect Cardano to be between $3 and $6, Theta to be $15, $20, Dogecoin, whatever. I mean, everything I expect to have significant gains from here, but there's no guarantee. And that's why you got to take profits when you can. And like I said, when we cash out at the end of the summer, we might go up for another couple months, and we're going to have a lot of people calling us idiots, because that's what happened to me last bull run as well. You got out way too soon. What are you doing? This market's going for another 6 months. All those people giving you shit for getting out and taking profits are the same people that lose every single fucking penny. Do you guys have any idea the amount of people I know who are in crypto last market who would text me every day talking about how much money they made that I have not heard from in 3 years because they lost every single fucking penny and they were too scared to get back in this market because of how much they lost last market? That's 99% of everybody in crypto. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.